Hey, hello people, welcome to Civ 5 AI only YouTube battle. Last time, Austria and Persia were eliminated, even though Persia is always immortal in our hearts. So let's get this rolling. This gigantic Zulu force going towards Mongolia. This MP might take over Otrar. The Dutch, still two unconnected cities. The Portuguese launching an offensive against Coimbra. Venice, still being Venice. Rome, settling Eretria. A little bit of lag. What is Brazil doing? I mean, what the heck is Brazil doing? Yeah, Austria got killed by the Ottomans. I already said that last part. Not much happening. Bismarck has entered the Renaissance. What's the Iroquois doing with this force? Well, they're damaged. Maybe they're probably going after Mongolia. Really. Lisbon still being dropped down. This offensive definitely won't work. Anyway, we have 35 civilizations left, so... Ooh. That's a fact. Trebizond founded. What are the Russians doing? Should have went after Athens. Greek expansion over here. Washington has mounted a defensive maneuver against the invasion force from Syria. Yeah, they declared that war. Huns with a decently sized force, hopefully going after Syria. You know what? I don't like Carthage succeeding. I really don't like Carthage. You know why? Well, there's this one AI game where my favorite civilization, Sardinia Piedmont, was eliminated by Carthage. And I hate Carthage for that. And I hate how they're being successful. And I hate how Persia was eliminated last part. Oh, and the Iroquois made peace with Mongolia as soon as all their... Wow, as soon as all their units got over there. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant tactics, Odinaga. Hawafa, sorry. Brilliant, just amazing. Amazing. Best leader of 1300 AD. Shaka has earned the Renaissance. Sal being founded by Mongolia. Morocco. Ah, jeez. I have horrible pronunciation of stuff. Seems like Byzantium's at war with the Ottoman Empire. I don't like the Ottomans succeeding either. Indonesia with some settling towards former Polish lands. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Karakorum. I'm just gonna call it Kakarum. Will probably drop. Well, New Sarai will. Yeah, New Sarai will probably drop to the Mongolians. Seriously, that was the best move by the Iroquois. Piecing out as soon as you got your army over there. Wow. That's just brilliant play. Rome piecing out with Assyria. That's kind of irrelevant. I'm pretty sure 191. I'll cut this part short at 210, so it'll only be 19 turns instead of the regular 20. Carthage with a settler. So I'm personally rooting for the Dutch or Venice to win now. I mean, I'm saying this because there's not much else to observe. But come on, wouldn't it be amazing if the Dutch or Venice won? It would be amazing. It's kind of amazing that Venice has survived this long, but, you know. Sweden aren't that expansive. They're just all about being Swedish. How's the Assyrian siege? Okay, it seems like Washington's probably going to repel this. He has a more advanced army. Yeah. I mean, Assyria still has spearmen. Wow. He has pikes. Genghis Khan has entered the Renaissance right before he's about to die. New Sarai was not captured back by Mongolia with that knight and composite bowman. Songhai Scout just looking on as the Zulu absolutely destroy. Well, not absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely destroy Mongolia. I'm surprised that they didn't liberate the Aztecs, but Shaka doesn't have a thing for liberating. Yeah, lots of impies going toward Karakoram, Hisia, drop it down. Yeah, Iroquois, with this force you could easily taken Ochar, Aras, maybe even Old Sarai. Carved yourself a nice bit of land over here. China has completed the Himeji Castle, filling in Japan's place. Yeah, this invasion just flopped. Denmark pieces out with Portugal. Portugal lost Coimbra in that war. Portugal could be killed by if Sweden or the Iroquois were even slightly more intelligent. If this force is for Portugal, though, bam, Portugal will probably be gone. Because Babylon has been pretty competent so far. Building the Great Wall, a nice defensive empire. They could probably defend against Carthage. Yeah, they could definitely defend against Carthage. England has entered the Renaissance era after being horrible and eliminating Persia. The Zulu, settling cities. Geez, they have all of this land. I need some border growth from a lot of empires to connect them. Like the Carthaginian Empire. A lot of people declaring war on the Dutch. Denmark. Oh yeah, the Hague, I think, will sadly fall to the Dutch. Well, no, they don't have that much. Probably not. Zulu, that's not a relevant war. Yeah, Hisia will be taken. Karakoram will be taken. Beshebelik will probably be taken. Geez, Mongolia. Have you fallen? I hope the Zulu win this. I hope the Zulu kill England for killing the glorious nation of Persia. Persia was my favorite besides Venice. Whoever eliminates Venice is my least favorite civ ever. Sia's been captured by the Zulus, like I said. Karakoram already fallen to the green. Seems like they're sending a attachment of forces to attack Beshebelik. I don't like when the AI splits their forces, so it's either they have 2 successful sieges or they just lose. I'm not sure what this force is going for. Hopefully Portugal. Maybe Denmark for picking on the Danish, the Dutch. The Danish versus the Dutch. Wow. I didn't know why I didn't say that at first. France, expanding a lot, but they don't have that much of a defensive force. Brazil's been quiet ever since expanding in this area. Wonder if they still have the most population like they did last video. This Greek exclave, Spain kicked down. Korea's doing pretty good. This Arabian force might be going for Korea though, which would probably kill them. The Dutch. Yeah, the Dutch will probably... The Danish won't succeed against the Dutch. Let's see how the Zulus are doing. Ooh, lots of lag. Ooh, boom. Yeah. Yeah. Mongolia, boom, destroyed. That's a... geez, sorry about that. For the long moment of silence. Geez. It's amazing how empires can fall, because Mongolia looked really good about 2-3 parts ago, but then the Zulus started wrecking them with their impies. Those are powerful. But the Huns are over here too. What's England doing? I swear, if they try to go after, like... If they go after Korea and eliminate them, I'll just hate England for eliminating all the small civs. Picking on all those weaker countries. It's time to look. Let's see. See how the Zulu are doing. The Zulu's borders are pretty clean, even though they need to absorb all this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Karakorum will fall, and then they'll go on to Besherbalik. They might finish the Mongols off, which will be pretty great. Karakorum has been captured by the Zulu. Boom. They only have a Kashik in the area. They don't even have any melee units. Mongolia, extremely weakened. It's a soft underbelly. It's like Italy. Soft underbelly of, everywhere. Carthage expanding. Connecting their empire a little bit more. Newcastle, Oxford has been founded. Have been founded. Still a lot of settling. And this is turn 200. That's kind of surprising. In most games that I've seen, settling stops after about turn 100. Well, it doesn't exactly stop, but, you know, it starts getting less frequent. But here are the wonders. Maya's in the lead, with a lot of people at 0 wonders. Attila at the bottom. What else do I have to say? I believe I'll skip 1 or 2 turns after this video, so we can get back into the action, since the world's kind of quieted down. No one looks like they're going to be eliminated. The Dutch kind of looked like they were going to be eliminated, but still. The Mongols are at the highest risk of being eliminated, which is kind of funny. I mean, Mongols are usually very, very successful. Assyria's siege practically failed. They only have 1 melee unit, and that'll definitely be taken out. And then the Chinese and the Huns have settled, so they've kind of cut off Washington from Assyria. Also, this is a route where I settled, so it seems like people are finally taking all this land and taking use of it. I wish someone would just try to declare war on the Celts. I don't like the Celts. I hope they get eliminated soon. But, you know, it's kind of nice to see... a lot of civs that flourish, that don't usually flourish because they're on a regular map. I mean, Carthage usually doesn't have that much space to expand in, especially with like Morocco and stuff, but they're doing really good, better than usual. Indonesia is usually very quiet, but now they've been taking over a lot of cities, even though their UA is useless. Mongolia is doing really bad. Venice, if this was a true start location, probably would have been eliminated already. So yeah, a more competent Dutch force with a knight, they might take over the Hague. Danish, oh yeah, they'll definitely take over the Hague with this knight. Ah, jeez. Thankfully, the Hague will always live on in all of our memories. Zulu have made peace with Mongolia for Turfan. Mongolia and Ortrar. Mongolia is a free city empire. How the mighty have fallen. Jeez. I believe this might be the first episode since Polynesia was eliminated that there isn't an elimination. Yeah. German settling. Awkward moment of silence. Hope someone kills the Mayan, too. They've done absolutely nothing. I mean, I guess it kind of takes competency to not commit suicide for no particular reason, but still. Luang Salong. That's a really cool city name. Yep, the Syrian force is retreating. The Hague has been captured by Denmark. Well, William's now just a one-city miner with a composite bowman. Siamese are moving some elephants. The Ottomans have their Janissaries. England making peace with Syria. No cities given away, thankfully. Yeah, the Ottomans could take out the Dutch this round. France has made peace with the Ottomans, like... I was talking about the Ottomans. Spain has their unique unit, but I think it's too late. They're already practically dead. Well, they basically are dead, practically. Yeah. They're figuratively dead. No, that's like literally... I don't really care. Ooh. Carthage and Attila declaring war on Korea. Thing is, Attila basically doesn't have any forces here. I don't know what England's doing. They could go after Korea. Could get Pyongyang. You know, I'm starting to think that Sejong was overthrown and replaced by glorious leader Kim Jong-un, because he could have easily taken over all this former Korean land. I guess you could say South Korean land. What am I trying to say? All the South Korean land, but no, he didn't do it. Hail Celestia has entered the Renaissance. Arabia, what are you doing? You have your camel archers. You're in a pretty good place to expand. What are you doing? I mean, you could settle like a city over here, make a nice connected empire. You could probably go after the Syrians and the Koreans, kind of turtle up, be a secondary power. Siam, doing pretty swell for an empire with a few cities. I don't know. I really want the Dutch to be eliminated this episode. We're gonna stop at 210, so I could stop that ending with 1 at the end. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, the Ottomans could definitely take out the Dutch before that. Oh yeah, the Mongolians, man. They have as many cities as Siam, of all people. Siam never does that good. You know, I think Siam is probably the most underrated civ, because outside of like these 42 civ and like True Start location, Southeast Asia, I know that Siam was in that one. They never really used Siam. Like in world maps, it's either Siam is in there and fails, or Siam isn't in there at all. Never seen a real successful Siam. They're doing pretty good for themselves, even though they lost most of their cities to Spain. And, with frame rates dropping low. The Venetians have good relations with the Swedish. That'll keep them alive a little longer. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be eliminated this episode. Cool. Takaza has been founded. Songhai has their unique unit. They could probably go after the Celts. Kill them pretty quick. France has the potential to be a great empire if they just try to start expanding. They could definitely take out expansion in the north with Siam. Byzantium has a pretty big defense force, but still. They could definitely expand into Celtic territory. Maybe even into Songhai if they get a big enough force. Oh, Egypt made peace with someone. Celts made peace with the Ottomans. Any cities given out? No. I keep on trying to look for cities given out because the AI always does stuff like that. Byzantine force, I'm not sure. They're just trying to reinforce their cities or something, but it's going north. Constantinople almost has those really good borders. What is Brazil doing with this force? I swear, if they just go back up to Brazil, it'll just be a useless adventure. You could have sent a scout over there, and it'll be much better. Ooh. Babylon has been citadeled. I believe. Yeah, Babylon has been citadeled. Fits with the Great Wall. I'm not sure if it forms around citadels, but still. Ethiopia, Egypt. Egypt declares war on China. Ooh, finally. A war. China has not superior tech, has the same amount of tech. They still have war chariots. Lots of. This is going to be an equally fought match. The USA have Minutemen. Maybe if Egypt loses this out, they could get Atlanta back. I don't want to live under Egyptian rule. Well, I don't live in Atlanta, but still. Closest city ever founded that I live in, near to. Great sentence. Yeah, I'm going to end it at 210, so it seems like the end, and there's no one eliminated. No one whatsoever. The Dutch were almost eliminated, the Mongolians were almost eliminated. That's about it, but they weren't eliminated. I'm okay with no bloodshed every once in a while. Just see the empires developing. I do like the Turpentines getting, going less, I guess. Carthaginian force, maybe going after Morocco. I wouldn't mind Morocco getting taken out. Yeah, this area is finally being settled. Yeah. This will be a very interesting war to look after. I hope America joins in, though. They have open borders with China. They probably have good relationships. Or they're at war. I'm not sure. What is Russia doing? If Russia goes after China, well, they might be going after Chicago. I'm not sure why they would want to go after Chicago when they could take over all these cities. Could be a base of operations to eliminate Greece. I don't think they are going after Chicago. Lots of cities being settled. Brazil with Fortaleza. And it's a very nice core. But they aren't using it. They aren't using it. Farms are not appearing in some tiles for some particular reason. Oh, World Congress. Embargo Sweden. World religion, Eastern Orthodoxy. Eastern Orthodoxy will probably fail. I believe that's Ethiopia. And embargo Sweden might happen. That would hurt Sweden. That would hurt Venice, too, since they're probably relying on trade with Sweden. Still have a warrior. I believe that's the last warrior in this game. Yeah, let's see what they do. China. Egypt is splitting their forces. They might capture Tianjin. They probably won't capture Guangzhou. Xi'an. China has these colonies, though, so they definitely won't be eliminated. I still have no idea what the English are going to do. Mongols being citadeled. Oh, jeez. Who knew that the Mongols would be citadeled and pushed out of the way, being bullied? You know, they're usually the one doing the one doing that. Brazil's completed the Globe Theater. Denmark has entered the Renaissance. Korea has denounced the Zulus. That's not really a good idea. Ooh. If the Huns are still at war with Korea, though, yeah, they better beware, but still, they'll survive this part, definitely, because it's going to end at the next turn. Then I'm going to look at the demographics at the end of each part. It shows off at the start because I click a button to start recording, and it always brings up demographics, so you'll see it at the start and at the end, so you can see what changed. Yeah, Constantinople, best borders 2015. Just look at that. Byzantium. And the thing is, these surrounding cities can take the tiles around it, but they'll probably not be as good as the final borders of Venice. Oh man, I can't wait for that. Jesus, sound like a border creep. That's really weird. Indonesia, amassing a force, could probably take over Spain. Lampang, still occupied. The capital is occupied. I think it would be better to put it to Seville. Even the Mayans could probably take a chunk out of Spain, probably eliminate them. Ethiopia with a pretty big force, maybe going after Spain. Ethiopia and the Mayans have done absolutely nothing so far. Yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be eliminated this part. Turn 110, so we'll end it. Let's see the demographics. Brazil's the best in population, I'm the worst in everything, except for approval. Babylon's the worst in approval. How? How? I mean, how? The Iroquois have the best science. A lot of people like the Ottomans. The Huns have the largest military. The Zulu have the most land. Carthage is the richest. Zulu have the most production. Carthage is the fastest growing. And Brazil has the biggest population. Yeah. So, that'll be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. And have a nice day, guys. Bye.